there is this deep pull that the primal masculine energy inside of each and every one of us enacts on women or mating or natural selection in a certain sense. There is this hardwired desire inside of us to fuck and to kill. And on a very primal, animalistic level that exists. Now, for the vast majority of biological evolution, the alpha male was the man or the animal who could bring home food, who could claim his women or woman, and who could protect his family or his tribe from threats from outside. So this epitomizes mating selection and mating pressure in a certain sense as kind of the apex expression of masculinity. Now, our culture has obviously evolved a lot since then, but that doesn't mean that our brainstem necessarily has to the same degree or can tell the difference. So we're much more cultured and civilized, and we've become very disconnected from that part of us. And that's a problem. We as men have been hardwired from youth to suppress our natural, authentic desires. And that's why we live in a generation of nice guys and nice girls. If you want to understand this concept in a much deeper sense, go watch the episode that I made about the psychology of nice guy syndrome and people pleasing. That will really help you to put this episode in even deeper context to understand the time that we live in and how this culmination of societal pressures and expectations has really pushed us in this direction of being very soft, very sensitive, overly pleasing. We sacrifice our authenticity, what we really think, what we really feel, in order to maintain secure attachment, in order to maintain connection with the people that we love, and especially the ones that are supporting our survival. And in that, we've somehow become disconnected from the part of us, that primal instinct within us that has the capacity to kill, has the capacity to fuck, and is unashamedly able to do those things well. Now, because of all these filters and levels of expectation and societal conditioning, we suppress so much of what we really think, of what we really feel, of what we truly want. And that is like an anti-aphrodisiac. That is the opposite of what women find attractive. That is why the dark masculine is so alluring, because he is flying in the face of all of that. He knows very well what he wants. He's not afraid to speak his mind. He will take something that he needs. And obviously this can come with many toxic negative connotations, and there is definitely a limit to this. This is dysfunctional, and it is toxic on a certain level, and the societal standards and expectations exist for good reason, because we're trying to build a society here. If every man was running around like a raping, pillaging barbarian, obviously that wouldn't be very conducive to a functioning, harmonious society. So really, the devil is in the details. The devil is in the nuance. I'm not saying we all need to go become raging psychopathic barbarians who rape and pillage in order to be attractive to women. No. What I'm saying is that we need to learn how to tap into our suppressed desires, our needs, and our authentic emotions. We as men need to learn to face our fear of rejection. and abandonment and judgment, and start the process of discovering ourselves for who we truly are. I hope you can see the distinction there. It is very important to see that, because it's as if we've thrown the baby out with the bathwater. There was a very important characteristic and cluster of traits, personality traits, that we have culled from our development. And because we live in relatively prosperous, safe societies, particularly us men here in the West, we have become disconnected from this primal masculine urge. We are disconnected from our bodies. We are existing up here in the head, very cerebral. And that's why we see today this movement of masculine embodiment is really taking hold. It's helping men rewild themselves, reconnect to themselves, get out of the head and into the body. And this is super important. This is helping to restore the natural balance of polarity in relationships. This is helping to stoke the fire of desire and turn on an authentic human connection. Because if we allow ourselves to simply exist up here all the time and forget how to tap into these parts of us which have been repressed, we are operating on a narrow band, a narrow frequency. And we're living unintegrated in a sense. My view is that we want to become men who are fully integrated, who have access to all of the parts of ourselves, that are not living in fear of parts of ourselves. We consciously choose to express or perhaps withhold certain feelings, desires, thoughts, impulses, but we do it consciously. If we are not conscious of our shadows and the way that we've suppressed certain aspects of ourselves, they will play out, as we've discussed, in unconscious ways. And that is much of the cause of dysfunction in relationships, men who are unbalanced psychologically, who don't integrate into society very well, who end up expressing their needs, their wants, their desires in covert, shadow, manipulative, or toxic ways. And that's not very healthy. So we really want to develop a bit of a process for starting to integrate our shadow and this dark masculine energy that exists inside of us in a healthy way, responsibly.